Everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica. In today's video, we're doing day 2 of December's 5 Days of Foundation. And today, we are using the NYX Mineral Stick Foundation. I have it in the shade 01, MSF 01, which, oh, it's still, the wrapper's still on it, so let me get that off real quick. So here's the shade I picked up. Like I said, it's 01. I'm hoping that it is the correct shade. We shall see here in a couple minutes when I get it on my face. Before I go ahead and get into that, I want to let you know that I do have the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist sprayed all over my face, and then my Tatcha Silk Canvas primer on as well. So let's go ahead and go to the NYX website, and I will read to you what it says about this foundation. Now I will tell you right out of the gate, there's not a very wide range. In fact, there's only 11 shades. Looks like, at least right now when I'm filming this, 2 of the shades are sold out. Like I said, I have 01, which is fair, I believe is the description. So I'm going to go ahead and read the description to you. It says, portable and buildable, our mineral stick foundation is ideal when you're on the move. The luxurious formula is easy to apply and extremely blendable, which allows for flawless highlighting and contouring. You can also use this versatile foundation on the entire face or in isolated areas that need a little extra attention. It's all up to you. Our creamy foundation is now available in 6 new shades. So it's 11 total, at least on the website. I have it in shade 01, which is described as fair, which is a fair complexion with a beige undertone. This does retail for $10. I think I purchased this at Ulta, so you can buy it at Ulta or the NYX website. I'm sure you can buy it other places as well. And it has 0.21 ounces of product in the little tube here. Now I will say this, the lid is super loose, and obviously it's not falling off, but it does feel very, very loose. So that's a little bit of a concern. Maybe it'll dry out a little bit faster. I'm not sure. But I will say all the comments on the NYX website at least say that people have bought it for the purposes of contouring and highlighting. I'm going to be using this as a foundation. It calls itself the Mineral Stick Foundation, so that's what we're going to be testing out today. So, okay, I'm going to just be using my Sigma F82 round kabuki brush. It's a little bit more dense, and I like to use this with stick foundations. So we're going to go ahead and just use that all over my face, and let's go ahead and get this on. It looks like it's a good shade match for me. Might be a little bit dark, but we'll see here in a minute. Once I get it blended in, yeah, it might be a little bit dark, but we're going to go ahead and start blending it in, see how it goes. All right, that pretty much looks like it blended away. It really looks like it blended away. Let's see if I can try to build it up a little bit more. Maybe I just didn't put enough product on. Or maybe it's just so close to my natural skin tone. I'm not going to put any more on my forehead. That maybe it's so close to my natural skin tone that it's not going to look like I have much of anything on. It's definitely a little bit too dark compared to my neck, but it looks like it almost perfectly matches my face tone, which is a little bit more red and a little bit more dark than my neck is. My neck has a tendency to be a little bit more yellow. Okay. So with 2 layers on, it looks like it's probably about at medium coverage. At least that's what it looks like in here in my mirror. It looks like it's about a medium coverage. You can still see some of my blemishes. Like I have a little blemish here on my nose right now that is definitely peeking through. And that's with 2 layers on. And it's definitely more pinky and more dark than my neck is. But if you know me in real life, that's not going to be like a shocker to you because my face is normally red, pinker than my neck. So yeah, it seems to be covering my blemishes here on my chin pretty well. Okay. now it's not looking bad. Like initially I thought it was going a little bit too much into my pores, but it doesn't look like that right now. It's not giving me a lot of coverage on my nose, and it is looking a little bit powdery here on my cheek. I'm not quite sure why. Let's see if it's going to transfer. It's definitely transferring. So I am going to go ahead and powder this. So we'll see how it looks once I get the powder on, but it's definitely transferring and I don't need to worry about that today, so I will be powdering. I don't know. It almost looks like there's nothing on my skin, if that makes sense. It almost looks like there's nothing on my skin, which is usually the look that I like, but I'm not real sure. I'm just not real sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and I will see you guys in a couple of minutes. Let me tell you what time it is. It is 9:04. So I am going to be filming a Throwback Thursday, which will have already posted, but I'm going to film a Throwback Thursday with my eye look today. So you may already have seen my eye look by the time I come back. But I will see you guys in probably about 20 to 30 minutes. It's just going to take me a little bit longer today because I'm filming that other video. So I will see you guys in just a second. All right, everybody, the time is now 9:43. But I actually got my face makeup done at 9:15. I did film this eye look, but I also have some work I needed to get done real quick. So that's what took me so long today. It usually doesn't take me that long to finish the rest of my face. What is on my face? I have the Dose of Colors lip gloss in Messy Bun on my lips. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless pressed powder. The Milani powdered blush in Romantic Rose, the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. I used just the champagne shade here on the end as my highlighter. I have the Collab No Flaws Liquid Concealer, just a little bit underneath my eyes. I have the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. This is the only shade I have on is this shade right here as my contour shade. And then I have MAC Painterly Paint Pot on my eyelids. The NYX Wicked Dreams palette on my eyes. I did film a Throwback Thursday, which posted, by the time this video posted, it'll have posted like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I have that on my eyes. And then I have the Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara, and then I sprayed it all down with my MAC Fix Plus. I think that's everything. All right, so half an hour into wearing this foundation, it's okay. It's breaking up in a couple of areas, so let me zoom you in and I will tell you what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure how well the camera will pick it up, but I'm having some issues around my mouth. Like right in here. I'm not sure if it's picking that up. On the other side too. So like right around my mouth I'm having issues. It's getting into my lines pretty deeply, like when I smile. Like when I was putting on my blush. You can see here that it's just sort of making my skin look a little bit older than I'd like it to look. It's not doing it so much on this side. Just more so on this side. Now I think maybe is because some of the scarring that I have from old acne scars might be causing that issue. I'm not sure, but that's a concern to me. It's cracking a little bit on my chin. Yeah, I think my forehead looks pretty good. I don't feel like it's too deep into that line on my forehead. I think my nose looks pretty good, except that I don't have a lot of coverage on my nose. I'm not quite sure why it is not giving me that coverage, because I'm getting some pretty decent coverage on other parts of my face, just not on my nose. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. Yeah. 30 minutes in, it's not looking bad. It's just a couple of spots, mainly around my mouth, that's really causing me some concern, but overall, it's not bad. So we're going to call check-in time at 9:15 because that's when I finished doing my face makeup. So that means we're going to have check-in at 1:15 and then again at 5:15 today. So I will see you all in a couple of hours. Bye. All right, everybody, it is time for my midday check-in. Grab my phone here. It is 1:12, so I'm a couple minutes early. But it's a little overcast, so I don't have any like super direct sunlight, but I am outside, so I'm getting some natural light. I also have my little mirror here that I'm looking into, and I did take a look at my skin before coming outside to film. It is a little cold out here, and I'm in short sleeves, so I'm gonna try to keep this pretty quick. Anyhow, here's what my skin looks like midday. It is a little bit in my line up there. Around my mouth is probably my biggest problem area. Around my nose as well. It is in my nose creases. And my nose is starting to get a little bit of shiny. Now, I don't remember this saying that it was a mattifying foundation, but my nose is a little shiny. And that's okay. I mean, it's fine. I'm about 4 hours in. It is breaking up a little bit of my chin. Not really breaking up as much as just like I'm getting creases and so forth on my chin, and that's fine. Again, that's pretty standard for my chin. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. It's a little bit, like I said, in my nose creases, it doesn't make me real happy, and just a little bit on my chin. I did just finish lunch, but there was, like, the foundation was actually like sitting in these lines on the side of my face or on the side of my mouth. Oh, that's a little cold. Sitting on the lines on the side of my mouth, but because I just ate lunch, I was, you know, wiping my mouth with a napkin and stuff, so that's kind of wiped away. But it was actually settling right in there. I don't know, I guess I'm getting frown lines now instead of smile lines. It is what it is. Anyway, that's what we're looking like midway through the day. Not too bad. Not the best foundation I've ever had, but not too bad either. So I will see you guys in about 4 more hours. Bye. All right, everybody, I am back. The time now, actually I'm a little bit early, but I'm about to head out to dinner. We're going to go grab some dinner real quick. So the time now is 5:05. So I'm about 10 minutes early. That's okay. We're about to go grab some dinner tonight. We don't always go out to eat during the middle of the week, but tonight we are, just because we got like a free kids meal for my younger son, Nicholas. So let's talk about the foundation. I actually just filmed a portion for my Throwback Thursday video, which posted a couple weeks ago, and John actually commented on my foundation. So if you saw that video, you'll already know what he said, but he actually he commented on it. He said, "You're looking quite shiny," and then I told him that we weren't talking about the foundation, we were just talking about the eye look, and he's like, okay, and we went about talking about the eye look, and then he's like, "I know we're not talking about the foundation, but you're very shiny." So there you go. I'm very shiny. Now, like I said, I don't think that this is supposed to be a mattifying foundation. I mean, it really doesn't say much of anything in the description that I read to you guys earlier. I know that a lot of people in the comments of that website, of the NYX website, said that they bought these specifically to use as contour and highlighting. So they get a darker shade just to contour and a lighter shade just to highlight, not as a full-blown foundation, which is what I'm using it as today. I don't know how it would work there. I know a lot of the comments were very favorable to be using them as contour and highlighting sticks. But I'm going to talk about it as a foundation because that's how I wore it. Very shiny. Very shiny. And it's not like super hot. It's not super cold here today. It was like high 50s, like 58, 59 degrees. It's a little bit warmer than typically happens in November. But we get those days. I mean, I'm in central Pennsylvania, and, you know, we get warmer days in November. We get colder days in November. It varies greatly. I mean, we've even had like 60-degree days in January, you know? So it does vary greatly temperature-wise in this area, as I'm sure it does where you are, unless you live like on the equator or in you know, the North Pole or something. I don't know. Anyhow, it's shiny in my T-zone, but again, that's not necessarily the foundation's fault. I am still, I'm like a combo oily, you know, and it's not quite full-blown winter yet. So my skin is starting to transition into a more dry, but I've just started using a new moisturizer, which seems to be helping with that as well. So I don't feel like my skin was super dry this morning when I put my foundation on. So it's actually looking pretty good, I think. I mean, yes, I am oily in my T-zone, so specifically around my nose and my chin. My forehead I don't feel is too oily. Beyond my T-zone being oily, I feel like it's actually looking pretty good. So looking like at my cheeks, I feel like my cheeks are looking pretty good. My blush kind of disappeared, but I've had that problem with that the Milani blush before. It looks pretty when you first put it on, but it just kind of fades throughout the day. I've never had a lot of luck with that blush. I was going to say the Flower blush because I use the Flower highlighter, but there is a Flower Beauty blush that looks very similar to the Milani blush. I have a lot more luck with the Flower blush. So if I'm going to pick between the two, I'm picking the Flower one over the Milani one. Anyway, but my blush is kind of gone. I can still see my highlighter. Definitely see my highlighter in there and definitely see my contour. So I feel like that's lasted throughout the day on top of this. I think my forehead looks pretty good. Now, let's see if it's transferring. I don't feel like it's transferring. It's not really transferring on my finger. Now, I had powdered this and sprayed it earlier. I think as my oils have come throughout the day as well, my chin has looked better. It's not looking like it's breaking up or cracking like it was during like the midday check-in. Again, part of that I think is because of my natural oils coming through. I'm definitely still caked in my nose creases, you know what I mean? So it's not, it couldn't really do much for me there. But overall, 8 hours in or almost 8 hours in, I actually think this is looking pretty good. I don't feel like it looks bad at all, other than my oily T-zone. Actually, let me grab some powder. I'm going to powder my T-zone and let's take a look. All right, I'm going to use the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. I'm just going to get some of that on my brush. I actually don't like the way that looks now on my nose. I feel like that almost took some of the coverage away on my nose. That's weird, right? I've powdered my nose before using some other foundations, and I've never had that happen. So that's kind of weird. Can you guys see that? Like right in here in the middle of my nose? It just is sort of like taken away some of the coverage that was there. I don't know. Well, other than it taking away a little bit of the coverage on my nose, I feel like I think it looks good. 8 hours in, I think it looks good. So if you're interested in a drugstore stick foundation, I'd say this wouldn't be a bad one to try, especially being that it's only $10. But then again, you also only get 0.21 ounces as well. So it's a lot less than like buying a liquid foundation that you could get for $10 or under $10. I actually have a tendency to like stick foundations though. I think that they work really well with my skin. So there's that. Anyway, I think overall 8 hours in, I think it's looking pretty good, other than me looking shiny and then that being really weird, taking away some of the coverage on my nose. It could be that the coverage would already look like that and I just didn't notice it because of all the shine. I don't know. But there you are. That is my first impression of the NYX Mineral Stick Foundation that I'm trying out today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when I do upload new videos. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. I do try to respond to every comment. Sometimes I get a little bit behind, but I do try to catch up. So if you have any comments, leave those down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye!